Hey, my fellow Scorpios. In the crystal ball this month, I was seeing a mirror and then it shattered. And then I saw a lake or a pond with smooth water until a rock was thrown into it. And I just felt as though it's something shattering the illusions that you have going on at the moment. So, is there a piece of a detail that you're not seeing? And perhaps is that going to remove the rose-colored glasses? So it's a little bit of a warning for this month, just to sort of go slowly. I think when it comes to relationships and involving other people, perhaps you need to be a little bit more careful and make sure that you're asking a lot of questions and looking into things a little bit further, because like I said, there could be something where you're seeing it like as though, oh, this is wonderful, and then there might be some details that could sort of throw a spanner in the works, something to sort of make the water a bit rocky. The good news is it's the super blue moon. We've got the moon in Pisces, which of course another water sign. So this I feel is going to be great for you because it's a moon that's going to be sparking your creativity. So dust off those projects that you've had sitting there, anything artistic you need to get back into. We're going to get some further messages. I'm going to be using the Universal Waite tarot deck, the Light Seers tarot deck, and an extra message from Doreen Virtue's messages from your angels from the oracle cards here. Scorpio, this is Esoteric Tales and Tarot, and this is your September 2023 reading. You have the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So a major kind of changes that are happening and the start of new cycles, because we've got some big cards that are on the table here. I'm feeling as though the Ace of Wands is new adventures and new prospects, new journeys, new projects. And are these beautiful new growth that's shooting out here. And you've got this when I'm thinking about work, and I'm thinking you're working away. You've been trying to try all different crafts. So I feel as though the meditation that I had before with the crystal ball, where I was seeing that you had this mirror shattering, it comes in two different aspects. So that's why I saw it as a mirror and then as a pond, because I felt as though there was a work aspect to it and then also a personal and relationship one. And what I'm feeling is that you are quite fearful about your money and about going into new projects and prospects. And this is sort of holding you back because you've got these feelings of fear and conflict. And so you feel as though you might be heading in a wrong direction, or you're holding yourself back a little bit, and you've got a bit of this lurking energy that's coming in. Perhaps it's been hard to move forward and you're finding it like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But you can see here that you've actually been working away with the Eight of Pentacles quite a lot. So you've got all of these skills and you actually have this money starting to build up. Perhaps it's in the background. You haven't seen the fruits of your labor yet. It's interesting here because we've got an 8 and then we've got a 9 and a 10 and then the Sun. So we can see that we're on the right trajectory. We're building. we're building out. So towards the end of the month, we're going to see that things are starting to feel a bit sunnier, a bit happier, and like things are starting to come together. So you're doing well with this Eight of Pentacles here, working away at your craft. There may be still, more work to be done. Still seems like as though here he's still got a pentacle here to work on, and he's fine-tuning it. I feel as though you're fine-tuning something. So you're working on it, and it's getting there, but it's got to have a few more tweaks to go before it's sort of, yes, that's exactly the product, or exactly, if you're writing a book, I need to go back and just do some final edits. I'm not quite happy with it. If it's makeup products or something, I need to tweak it. There's not quite the right ingredients, but I'm almost there. And I guess at this point, it is easy to get a bit disenchanted. You can start to think, am I ever going to get there? Am I going to have all of my cups full? Am I going to be happy? Am I going to have this sun? But it is coming. So it's nice to kind of know, yes, you're on the right track. Make those little tweaks. Keep going with experimenting with the product, because you're going to nail it. You're going to nail it on the head. And that's how I'm feeling the start of the month is that keep going, keep persisting, keep trying different things, even though I know it does, you get weary. There's a bit battle weary here, because it feels as though, gosh, I've been working away. And am I seeing anything yet? But you actually are. You're seeing this happen. Don't feel so weary. We've got this turned up the other way. So now you're starting to come out of that energy of feeling as though, gosh, I'm getting nowhere. It's starting to release. And soon you're going to see that everything was worthwhile, that you're going to have all of your dreams come true, and that it's going to be a fruitful endeavor. So worthwhile continuing on. Now, I can't ignore the fact that I was thinking about relationships with this too. So when I thought of the pond and a rock being thrown into it, it's interesting because I've got the Three of Cups here as well as a clarifier for this month. And I'm seeing an Ace of Wands. And together I'm looking at them as though I feel as though, you might be hoping for new relationship prospects and heading in that direction, and it starts to look like something's good, something's on the horizon. There might be more than one. There might be 1, 2, 3 kind of bright prospects, and you're thinking, oh yeah, this is really good. And this could be the 3 here, the 3 prospects that you have. But also it just feels like it's a bit crowded, or as though there's a decision to be made and you're not quite sure which way you want to head. I'm seeing on the table that we've got a King of Wands here, and we also have the Emperor. So this is fire sign energy. So you've got your Aries, your Leos, and your Sagittarius kind of vibes coming up here. The sort of thing that I'm drawn to here is that there may be a choice of which direction to go in, and you're not quite sure of where you can sort of trust, because you're feeling as though, oh, I've been working away at relationships and trying to get myself. I've been doing my work on myself. I've been doing all the shadow work. I've been making improvements. I've been improving on where I live, on how I look, on all of these things, big ticket items. And you are a bit battle weary, and you're just thinking, am I ever going to sort of have that happiness that I'm looking for? With all these things that I'm doing, is it actually paying off? And yes, because that is coming together. So as far as you are going, as far as you yourself are growing as a person, yes, you are getting there for sure. You're actually doing all of the right things. You're heading into this great energy yourself. You're making your life better so that you can have this beautiful independence and feeling as though you have everything that you need. So regardless of who comes in, you're doing the right things to bring the happiness into your life. What we have here is just some energy that was feeling pretty tricky before. So combative energy with the Five of Swords. We can see in this particular Light Seers deck that there's a battle that sort of happened here. It feels like blood's been spilt here, and this is almost like an empty victory. It's like, oh, I've won that, but I don't feel so happy about it. So it feels as though you're coming out of that now. Perhaps there was some conflicts in relationships, and perhaps you've had to let somebody go. I feel as though potentially in this month people could be showing up. You could have new prospects, or old prospects could come back when new people are on the horizon. So it's sort of a little bit of a warning. I don't know if this is a Leo, but it could be any of the fire signs. But I feel as though this person might have had some time away. It feels to me like these two wands are kind of matching up nicely, where it feels as though he may have been in your life, and when I say he, it can be any male, female. It doesn't matter what orientation they are. It's an energy. So I feel as though this person may have gone away thinking, they were king of wands, they were, in their power center, they felt courageous like a lion, they had this energy of, they're quite good looking, and as though, I can have anybody who I want. And I feel as though they've gone away and haven't felt as happy about the scenario that they perhaps thought they were heading to, and on a bit of reflection they're thinking, perhaps I wouldn't mind looking back to where I was before. And I'm noticing that the eye gaze here is also looking down. Perhaps there's another contender that's come into your life in that kind of emperor type energy. So somebody that's very worthy of looking at, because they seem to have everything that they need here. They seem to be somebody who could be owning their own business or managing things, and quite high up and in society doing quite well. And now this person is looking over going, oh, hang on, I think perhaps I might want to go back and have another look. And that's kind of where I feel as though when I saw that mirror shattering, that we have this, and the pond with the rock being thrown into it, I felt as though that could be the rock being thrown in, a bit of a spanner in the works, as though things are starting to kind of go in the right direction. Oh, I think I've actually done all the work, and there is somebody of interest that's coming along here. Perhaps I'm going to have my 10 of Cups after all, my happy life, happy environment, and now I'm conflicted. So you've got this Tower card. It is in reverse, but I'm still feeling as though the energy is that something's coming in to sort of shock. Something's coming into shock. It's not the Tower where it all falls apart, but it's to sort of build up but it's something to just throw a spanner in the works, like that stone or rock being plonked in the pond where, it's created waves, and now I'm not quite sure which way to head. So the good news is that this 10 of Cups and the Sun is here as the end, energy that we've got. So it could relate back, as I said, the 3 of Cups could be this crowded, third party, like few too many people in the mix. And it's interesting because underneath this card, we have the 8 of Pentacles, which goes back to, that is the same as this card here. So we've got it appearing again, really clarifying our messages here. So you're encouraged here to continue this path where you're actually working on yourself and not ignoring, but certainly putting to the side what these people's wants and desires are, to work on yourself here. All of these things that you're working on are coming together. So you've got this lady here, she's got her candle here, she's thinking, she's manifesting, she has all of these projects on the go. This could be the crafting that we talked about. She's got, all of her books over here, and she's studying, she's working on herself, and she's really getting there. So the good sort of double up of the message here. We might put this one to the side so we can see it here. I think it's telling us that if you continue to work on yourself, you're going to have the fruits of these labors, and you're going to have this feeling of abundance. You're going to have that. You're going to feel as though you have enough money, you have enough resources, you're emotionally stable and happy, you've got a beautiful life at home, and that will lead to the sun, which could mean that if you're desiring to have, a happy family and children, it could be a very good card to bring children in. It could be where, if you're co-parenting, where things start to work out a lot better and where you're much happier. It could be that somebody who comes into your life has children, and that works out to be a very happy scenario with blended families. So there's all of that could be coming in. It doesn't necessarily relate to children. It can relate to abundance and the growth of projects, the growth of what you've been working on as well. So it can mean that everything's coming to fruition. I think the key messages here are that working on yourself is how you're going to get to this path. So I think once you become distracted and start worrying and concerning yourself with this who to pick and which direction to go, if somebody's come and put a spanner in the works, I think sort of, acknowledge that yes, they're there, but really you're doing well focusing on yourself. You need to prioritize your new ventures and where you're headed, because that's going to set you up for this amazing outcome. Whoever's going to come into your life will stay and be attracted to that energy. So just keep that in mind. I think it's going to be hard to discern which path to take. I think going within, really understanding what you want and who's going to build you up and build on this and not take away so that you're feeling exhausted. So always, think about your own energy and vibration and frequency, because other things can come and throw that rock in the water, and then there's the ripples and you feel as though, gosh, I had all this calm, beautiful energy and now it's been rocked. So go back to that, working on yourself, pulling out those craft projects, anything that you're working on, because we've got that beautiful Pisces full moon energy this month. And interesting, because the messages from the angel cards, you got Serena. I am the angel of abundance. You will receive the money that you need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. Have faith. And I want to read as well the extra messages that go along with this card, because I do think that it's great for this month. God is the source of all of your good. Release all of your cares and worries to me, and I will bring them directly to God. The more that you surrender this situation to heaven, the more open you become. Your openness, like outstretched arms, welcomes the gifts that we bring you. When you worry, however, it closes you down. It then becomes more difficult for us to deliver your gifts. You don't notice your gifts, or you push them away. God's infinite creativity means that your financial support will come in unexpected ways. One of the reasons why you worry is because you don't know how your money will be delivered. You can release these worries by completely relying on God's wisdom and care. Notice your repetitive thoughts, feelings, and ideas. They are our way of communicating divine guidance to you. As you follow these divine directives, your supply comes to you on the wings of angels without delay or reservation. The more that you can relax and trust, the faster we can bring these gifts your way. So that is actually perfect confirmation to get out of your own way, to get out of your own head, to keep continuing on, working on, allowing that nice energy to be there. I think, when you go into that lack mentality, things can be stripped away from you. It's funny because before I started this reading, I got out my beautiful spray here. It's from harmonizeme.co.nz. So I'll put some information about it in the description below. But it's a spray that I use, and it's got a little mantra before it says, Monetize Me is this spray. It says, I see my path paved with gold, fortunes made and outcomes told. I align myself with this bright light. Monetize me now because it feels just right. And it's a great manifesting spray. So I like to use that when I'm clearing the space along with my sage. And there's a couple of other ones, but I picked the Monetize Me Now. So maybe we're feeling like we need to be, you know, in that monetized kind of, you know, bringing the money towards us. Perhaps it's our time, Scorpio. I think it's going to be a good month if we go within, rely on ourselves, get into our crafts, get into our hobbies, focus on ourselves rather than on others. And I think we're going to have a beautiful month of September. And of course, we're heading towards our birthday seasons, towards the end of the year. So enjoy this month. And if you've enjoyed the messages, please like, share, subscribe, and follow. Thank you.